the room temperature superconductor. In 1962, metallurgist Thomas Oedner was conducting routine alloy experiments in Newark when he accidentally created a room temperature superconductor. His discovery occurred during a failed attempt to strengthen aluminum for aircraft. Instead, he produced a compound that conducted electricity with zero resistance at standard conditions. Born in 1924, Oedner had spent his career on industrial metals. On March 14th, he mixed copper-tin amalgam with lithium and subjected it to ultrasonic vibration. His instruments showed zero resistance at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. He repeated the experiment 17 times with identical results. Oedner filed a patent and sent samples to 3 universities. 2 confirmed his findings, but something shifted. His Department of Defense funding was terminated on May 2nd. Laboratory access was revoked 3 days later. The patent was classified under national security. Oedner continued working at home, but was killed in a house fire on November 8th. Neighbors reported 2 men in dark suits visiting the evening before. His notebooks were never recovered. No university published verification studies. The compound that could have revolutionized energy transmission ceased to exist in the scientific record. The plastic-eating enzyme. In 1978, graduate student Elena Vasquez accidentally synthesized a plastic-degrading enzyme while studying soil bacteria near a Sao Paulo landfill. She isolated a bacterium that consumed polyethylene at unprecedented rates. Born in 1952, Vasquez was first in her family to attend university. On July 22nd, she observed a bacterial colony that had completely broken down plastic particles overnight. The enzyme could degrade most plastics into harmless compounds within 48 hours at room temperature. She created cultures and freezing backup samples. Vasquez presented results at a regional conference in August, attracting attention from environmental groups and petrochemical representatives. She submitted for publication in September. Within 3 weeks, her advisor terminated the project, citing unspecified concerns. Her cultures were contaminated during laboratory cleaning. All backup samples mysteriously degraded despite -80°C storage. The Petri dish manufacturer filed a lawsuit claiming intellectual property violation. The case settled with non-disclosure. Vasquez left academia and became a high school teacher. Years later, she stated her discovery raised questions about economic sustainability uncomfortable for certain stakeholders. The supercapacitor breakthrough. In 1984, physicist Dr. Harold Crenshaw accidentally discovered energy storage at densities approaching gasoline while working on MRI technology at Stanford. His breakthrough came during equipment malfunction when a capacitor array exhibited impossible charge retention. Born in 1939, Crenshaw had dedicated his career to medical imaging. On May 3rd, a power surge caused his capacitor bank to enter an unexpected resonant state. 12 hours later, it retained 97% charge, physically impossible given known discharge rates. Energy density exceeded conventional batteries by a factor of 40. Crenshaw spent 6 months refining the technique. He filed provisional patent in November 1984. His laboratory received a grant from an oil services company in January 1985. By March, grant terms restricted his data access. The company claimed proprietary rights to derivative research. When Crenshaw attempted publication, he received cease and desist, citing the grant agreement. The university sided with the corporate sponsor. Crenshaw was offered generous retirement on condition of signing comprehensive non-disclosure. He accepted and left Stanford in August 1985. His provisional patent expired unconverted. Crenshaw died in 2003. His children found a notebook with the note, "They bought silence. I am ashamed I sold." The carbon sequestering bamboo. In 1991, botanist Dr. Yuki Tanaka accidentally bred a bamboo hybrid, sequestering carbon at 50 times conventional forest rates, while researching construction materials in Kyoto. During April cross-pollination experiments, she combined 3 bamboo species, producing unexpected results. The hybrid grew to maturity in 8 weeks with extraordinary carbon absorption. 1 hectare could sequester as much CO2 as 40 hectares of rainforest. The plant thrived in diverse conditions. Tanaka published initial findings in September 1991, attracting worldwide interest. She received funding offers and prepared field trials. In December, her greenhouse experienced catastrophic contamination. All specimens died within 72 hours from an officially described fungal pathogen. The greenhouse required demolition. Tanaka attempted recreation but never achieved same results. Japan's timber industry filed complaints, arguing fast-growing bamboo could destabilize markets. New regulations required extensive environmental studies for modified plants, a decades-long process. Tanaka's funding was redirected to conventional forestry. In 2008, she stated cryptically that some solutions create more problems for those who profit from current problems. The Unbreakable encryption. In 1996, software engineer Marcus Webb accidentally created Unbreakable encryption while debugging code for a video game company in Austin. A programming error produced mathematically irreversible encryption. Born in 1968, Webb was self-taught, with no cryptography background. On February 17th, while troubleshooting a random number generator, he noticed a bug creating encrypted outputs that couldn't be decrypted with original keys. Over 3 months, he concluded he'd stumbled upon one-way encryption exceeding current theory. His algorithm could theoretically secure communications against any attack, including quantum computing. Webb consulted a University of Texas professor who confirmed extraordinary properties but strongly advised against publication. Webb ignored advice and submitted a patent in June 1996. Within 2 weeks, 2 individuals identifying as NSA contractors visited, offering to purchase the algorithm. Webb declined. His patent was seized under the Invention Secrecy Act. Webb was prohibited from discussing his work under prosecution penalty. He challenged legally, but his case was dismissed on national security grounds. Webb's computer equipment was confiscated during a September burglary. He left technology and became a carpenter. In 2015, Webb stated that privacy is considered a threat by those who require surveillance to maintain control. The hydrogen-producing algae. In 2001, marine biologist Dr. Astrid Nielsen accidentally discovered algae producing hydrogen fuel through photosynthesis at commercial rates while studying Norwegian coastal ecosystems. During August field sampling near Bergen, she collected unknown algae from fuel-contaminated waters. Laboratory analysis revealed hydrogen gas production at rates exceeding any known biological system. Large-scale cultivation could potentially produce hydrogen more efficiently than industrial electrolysis, using only sunlight, seawater, and nutrients. Nielsen presented findings at a November symposium and submitted to a peer-reviewed journal. Renewable energy interest was immediate. Within weeks, Norway's state oil company expressed concerns about economic impact. In January 2002, Nielsen's institute received guidelines requiring discoveries with significant economic implications undergo government industry review before publication. Nielsen's algae required such review. The process stalled indefinitely. Water samples containing the algae were disposed during routine reorganization, allegedly due to storage constraints. Nielsen couldn't locate additional wild samples despite multiple expeditions. Her submitted paper was rejected, with vague reproducibility criticisms. Renewable energy grants weren't renewed, while oil spill research funding increased. In 2012, she mentioned that transition to sustainable energy will only occur when it's more profitable than extraction. The transparent aluminum. In 2005, materials scientist Dr. Rajesh Kapoor accidentally synthesized transparent aluminum alloy exceeding military-grade steel while experimenting with metallic glass at MIT. On March 9th, testing various aluminum-titanium cooling rates, he produced a sample that was optically transparent, yet possessed tensile strength greater than hardened steel. The material was lighter than conventional aluminum and could be cast into complex shapes at low temperatures. Kapoor recognized revolutionary implications: transparent armor, structural windows, invisible vehicle frames. He filed a patent through MIT in April 2005. Defense industry news spread quickly. In June, his patent was placed under secrecy order by the Department of Defense, classified for national security. All public discussion was prohibited. Kapoor was offered highly compensated contractor positions, contingent on abandoning civilian applications. He reluctantly accepted. Within 2 years, he grew disillusioned with restrictions and attempted resignation. He was reminded of criminal penalties for violating security clearances. Kapoor remained with the contractor until 2019 retirement. In a blog post, he wrote that some innovations are born free, and then enslaved by those who fear what they cannot control. The CO2 to ethanol catalyst. In 2009, chemist Dr. Lena Sorensen accidentally created a catalyst converting atmospheric CO2 directly into ethanol at room temperature while researching industrial carbon capture at a Danish university. On October 14th, testing a copper-nitrogen compound, she observed ethanol production without energy input beyond ambient temperature. Her catalyst was pulling CO2 from air and converting it to fuel with near-perfect efficiency. The reaction required only water vapor and the catalyst, which wasn't consumed. Sorensen verified results over 3 months. She prepared to publish in February 2010. Before submission, her department head informed her that an anonymous donor provided substantial university funding, stipulating all carbon capture research undergo commercial evaluation before publication. The evaluation determined Sorensen's catalyst posed market disruption risks, requiring further study. Her research was placed on indefinite hold. The consulting firm had financial ties to multiple oil companies. Sorensen attempted independent work, but found laboratory access limited and graduate students reassigned. The original catalyst sample was lost during building renovation, allegedly disposed as hazardous waste. Sorensen left academia in 2011. In 2016, she stated that the greatest enemy of revolutionary change is evolutionary profit. The Alzheimer's reversal protocol. In 2013, neuroscientist Dr. Aaron Mitchell accidentally discovered a simple electrical stimulation protocol, reversing Alzheimer's symptoms in laboratory mice while researching sleep patterns at Johns Hopkins. On May 23rd, a malfunctioning timer caused test subjects to receive transcranial electrical stimulation longer than intended. When assessed the next day, mice with induced cognitive impairment showed dramatic recovery of memory and spatial reasoning. He repeated with rigorous controls, observing consistent reversal. The electrical protocol was remarkably simple, requiring no drugs or surgery. A clinical device could be manufactured for under $300. Mitchell presented at a July conference and submitted for publication. Patient advocacy interest was overwhelming. In August, a pharmaceutical company specializing in Alzheimer's drugs filed a patent claiming broad rights to any electrical cognitive treatment. The company challenged Mitchell's pending publication. The journal delayed publication pending legal resolution. Mitchell's National Institute of Health funding wasn't renewed. Mitchell sought alternative funding, but pharmaceutical companies were uninterested in treatment competing with drug pipelines. The patent dispute remained unresolved for 3 years. Mitchell's publication released in 2016, but momentum had dissipated. Mitchell left research in 2018. He has stated publicly that curing disease is less profitable than managing it indefinitely. The room temperature fusion. In 2017, physicist Dr. Sarah Chen accidentally discovered room temperature fusion while experimenting with cavitation bubbles in heavy water at a Vancouver laboratory. Born in 1982, Chen was investigating sonoluminescence. On September 7th, using heavy water and subjecting it to specific ultrasonic frequencies, her radiation detectors registered neutron emissions consistent with fusion reactions. Nuclear physicists confirmed fusion was occurring at room temperature, with no radioactive byproducts. Chen spent 6 months refining the technique, achieving consistent fusion using equipment costing less than $10,000. Her work contradicted consensus that fusion required extreme temperatures, conditions only achievable in massive facilities costing billions. She submitted findings in March 2018. Response was immediate and hostile. Prominent physicists denounced her work without reviewing data. The journal that initially accepted her paper reversed under pressure. Chen presented at conferences, but faced ridicule from the fusion establishment. In May 2018, Chen's laboratory experienced an electrical fire, destroying apparatus and data backups. The fire investigation found no clear cause. Her university declined to fund reconstruction. Chen received employment offers from 2 major energy companies, both requiring agreements prohibiting fusion-related publication. She declined both. Chen left physics entirely. In 2021, she said that revolutions in science are only permitted when they don't threaten existing investments. These 10 accidental discoveries share a pattern too consistent to be coincidental. Each began with unexpected observation by a researcher following scientific curiosity. Each promised to disrupt established industries worth trillions. Each faced systematic suppression through legal mechanisms, funding manipulation, institutional pressure, or mysterious destruction of evidence. Each researcher was silenced through intimidation, financial incentives, or circumstances ending their ability to continue work. We are told that science progresses through open inquiry and beneficial discoveries inevitably reach the public. But these cases suggest different reality. When innovation threatens existing power structures, mechanisms exist to contain it. Patents can be classified, funding can evaporate, careers can be destroyed, evidence can disappear. The question we must confront is whether we can create a civilization that values human flourishing over market stability. How many solutions to our greatest challenges have been discovered and then locked away? These 10 dangerous discoveries were found by complete accident. One wonders what other breakthroughs remain hidden, not because they're impossible, but because they're too threatening to those who benefit from the world as it is. Thank you for watching. To support the creation of more videos like this, please like this video, subscribe, and use the comments to suggest a topic for our next video. Thanks again and goodbye.